Okay, totally wearing a party hat on my head right now. Does that say fun? I don't know. I guess it's kind of fun. All right, well, welcome back to another episode of Youth Ministry Insight. So excited to be here with you. And hope you enjoyed my little hat for a fun time. But honestly, youth group should be fun. Youth ministry should be fun. But there's sometimes a trouble finding the balance between where we're giving them the faith and where we're giving them the fun. Because we need to make youth group fun. We need to make it, as I said before, holding dangling the carrot out to draw them in. So important. And we have to use these things to draw them in. I was just having a conversation recently with a priest friend of mine, and he was sharing about how St. John Bosco used little magic tricks to draw the youth in. Who are we to emulate? These saints, especially these saints that loved youth, like St. John Bosco. So we need to use these little tricks, right? Shall we speak? These little tricks to pull in the youth. However, we have to be cautious that we are using the right amount of balance between giving them the faith, giving them what they need to hear, and the fun. I've mentioned this before. I have a group that meets weekly called Spiritual Guidance, and it is a really good blend of like 50% hangout, social time, games, pizza, snacks, and also catechesis, like sharing the faith with the youth. Just example today, we had 45 minutes for the junior group and an hour for the high school group where they could just throw the football around, play games. We have a giant Jenga, we have Foursquare, we have volleyball, all different things for them to do. Throw in the football, you name it. It's out there if it's a kind of sport, and we try to be outside. And then the second 45 minutes for our junior group and the second hour for our high school group was talking about the Rosary, specifically during this month of the Rosary, the 15 promises of the Rosary, saints who love the Rosary. Of course, most of the saints did, but different quotes from saints who love the Rosary, sharing about their lives. And then we played a game at the end with those quotes. What saint said it? So again, it's a little bit of fun, a little bit of balance of sharing the faith, and then a game that kind of tied in everything. If you can bring your ministries to have that balance, and it's going to be different for the age group, right? The age appropriateness is really important with your games, with how you interact with them. So it might be a little bit more interactive with your junior youth group or your younger youth group versus your high school or your senior youth group. So that's important to remember too. Another good example for your balance of faith and fun is having like a talk centered around something like a specific topic, and then some kind of other activity with it. So for instance, we have had meetings where we have a vocations panel of a priest, a sister, a lay person who's living the single life out, and lay people who are living the married life out. And they share about their life in these different roles of their vocation. And then afterwards, with some of those people that were on the panel, the very brave volunteers, we did a pie night where some of the youth could take and enter a chance to pie those people in the face. Of course, they would want to pie the youth minister who was representing the married life, me, and my husband. And then they also really were excited to pie their priest. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's this balance between faith and fun built right into the meeting. Sometimes these take a little bit of creativity, right? A little thinking, but it's really important to have that balance. You don't want it to be, I can never say too heavy on the faith, but too heavy on the way we deliver the faith, right? So we don't want to be just reading from the catechism all night, but we want to take those teachings of the catechism and bring it to the youth on their level and make it fun, make it enjoyable, make it a time that they get excited to come to youth group for whatever activity you're doing. Another topic that we love to share about in our ministries is pro-life. Very important, especially to share about what it means to be pro-life, how we can live that out. But again, that topic might not be so exciting for a youth to say, oh yeah, I'm going to go to the pro-life meeting tonight, especially when maybe they are exploring this idea of what it means to be pro-life versus being pro-choice. And so we need to, again, make it fun and inviting. So something we do to share the pro-life message is we always have a speaker come in that is a little well-versed on it. Again, though, afterwards we have this activity that ties in. So in the past, we've done Cupcakes for Life, where we've made cupcakes to be given out to our parish with pro-life messages on them. And those cupcakes represent the life of a baby who did not get to celebrate their first birthday due to abortion. And that really does now open the eyes up to the youth, but it was something fun that they could do to incorporate with this meeting topic. There's so many different ways you can tie it in, especially to holidays, feast days like All Saints Day. You can have them dress up as saints, or even the youth minister and your young adult volunteers can dress up as saints. Again, tying in that feast day, talking about it, making it a little fun. For an Advent time, you can have an Advent prayer service, but then kind of tying into a whole Christmas party with like a gift exchange and things. But you're tying in these topics of faith, transmitting the faith to the youth, but making it fun. There's a fine line, there's a fine balance, but once you find it, you can now make it work within your ministry. And it's about you finding that balance. And maybe, again, in the beginning, if you're just starting off your ministry, you want to go really heavy on the fun stuff and then kind of pull back a little bit. Versus if you are in a youth ministry program that has been around for several years now and established, you can start to go a little bit more heavy on the topics of faith. You can maybe even have some smaller groups that meet different times of the week that are for those that are more serious about the faith, versus your regular general meetings that are weekly, monthly, however you have them, can have a little bit more of the faith and fun balance. It's a matter of you as a youth minister discerning where you are and in your ministries and how to make that work. Because again, we're always trying to touch the hearts and in turn touch the souls of the youth. And using all these things, all these little tools in your tool belt of youth ministry to be able to lay out your meetings, lay out your plans, it's going to help you be able to do that. God bless.